board, please. And I want to go back over the financial part of this lobster industry. For the last 5 years, I feel that you folks have let me get out of your hands about $60 million a year. That's what you've done by not having a voice. If you look at it, 60 times 5, that's $300 million to be pumped in this economy. And don't tell me we don't need $300 million because we do. I went to a graduation 2 years ago, and I'll never go to another one, not until this turns around. I've seen 111 kids graduate. Guess what? Not one was going to future here. Not one. That's pretty sad. That is terrible. And realistically, it is up to us. You're not going to get help from Sterling Velvet. You're not. You're not going to get help from the federal government. You're not going to do that. Gail Shea said that we're going to leave it up to the industry. That means you're on your own. That's it. Plus, I'm pissed off at her yet because she promised me meat, never ever given it. Give me the meat, and that's been about 4 years ago. She's gone now. I guess the guy who runs it, I never heard telling him. I don't know if he's alive or dead. He could be dead. But anyway, listen, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. We're going to have a meeting in Taggart on Saturday afternoon. I don't know why yet, but it will be posted on CGLS radio. And like I said, just think over what's been said here today. And we made history in this building today. I don't think you folks ever had a meeting due to the lobster fish in this meeting, did you? In this building? Huh? Did we ever have one yet before?
Only 5 people show up.
Pardon me?
We've had many of the lobster fish, but only 5 people show up.
Well, somebody's interested then, according to what's here today. Gonna turn the mic over to you again. Anybody's got any comments, concerns? Now's the time. Come to the mic, because I can't hear very good.
Okay, James, by doing your association today, and let's say the last Monday in November next year, I'm going to go fishing, no matter what. What effect does that have between your association?
What effect does that have?
Yeah, like, why don't we let people down here saying, well, there he goes around the end of the war, or whatever. Like, or let's say we have a vote, or the vote, and they say, no, the price isn't right, we're going to stay short. But they're 20 or 30% coefficient.
Well, I think that's a little premature to ask me the question, because I think that we have to vote on this and find out what we can come up with and negotiate with the dealer, and hopefully you will get a price that everybody can live with.
Okay.
That's my hope.
How much hope do you have on me being a member holder if I go against the grain? You know what I mean? Like,
How much?
Yeah.
How much? Well, if we come up with a fair price and you violate the rule, guess what? Guess what?
you're not my friend no more.
Well, I'll always be a friend, but guess what? You shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, that's what I mean. I don't know, like, do I let the association down, or?
Well, strength is in the numbers, and when you unite whatever the Democratic vote is, I guess you've got to hang with it. Now, the dealers has got to come up with some good options still. Let's face it, that part of it, they're paying you money for these products. They got to come up with some good ideas still. And between the two, you fellows and the dealers, I think we can overcome that. Because look at last one. Not this one, last one. You got 450, 5 and 550.
I never seen the 550, but we got 5.
It only lasted for
It
only lasted about 3 days.
Yeah,
that was it.
Okay.
That's the story. And you will have a vote. And by the way, we will be able to vote online and things like comments. Hopefully.
But like the consensus is now, like, we're almost in, not really a different area, but we are in a situation. We are to the southwest and to the north. We're almost seeing things a little bit differently. Right now, we'll take for fishing stuff like that. You start to see it taking 2 weeks. Delay in the season or something like that. It doesn't seem to bother you as much as it bothers us all the time.
I don't want people to delay anything. What I'm in hopes of, you fellas give us the strength. You give us a method. You give us a method. We'll negotiate a fair purpose. Give us a method.
I get my
Give us
question.
a number. That's what you guys said.
My question was, like, say, how much hope does the association have with me?
Well, I tell you what I think is one of the things that would be good for you is a camera.
Oh, that I agree. My first week lobster went was supposedly anyway, went somewhere on back of truck every day, so. Anyway, thank you.
Biggest fear you have for not getting members, the biggest fear you have for not getting members in this area right here is people are scared for that exact same reason. Scared. The numbers will force us to stay ashore. Numbers will force us to have a split season or whatever. But, like people discussed it, if the organization, if they feel the organization can better the price before the season, there won't be no reason to stay ashore. Am I right?
Yes.
That's the point you should be driving across. Because the biggest fear here is both seasons or split seasons. We all know you can't fish for $3.25. You should be pushing that. If the price is negotiated better, you won't have to really worry about it.
Right.
If you don't join the association and don't express the fact that split season is going to shut down 20% of your fleet, then how are we supposed to know? You have to join the association, voice what your concerns are. I think the association intends on having everyone's concerns, and if split season is going to shut down 50% of your fleet, I don't think that the association is going to be okay with doing that.
Yeah, but 80% of you cars down there vote, and 10% of us vote, we don't have to.
That's why we're scared to join, because
We're a minority, we don't win anyway.
Oh, why is this split season going on? Who
talked split season?
I told her, Ashton City.
Who
I
told
told
you?
you. Ashton City, I told
First of
her.
all, here's a while ago, talking a while ago, delay a week season. We delay a week season, we've had to this game. We have a split
We
season.
know you guys stand up in this debate.
What does it matter?
325 is better than nothing.
This man would like to stop you.
No, I just, can we hear this gentleman, please?
Bang the table.
Can we hear this gentleman?
We have a situation here where some of you boats sat alongside District 33 in Cape Island, you know, two different areas. Up in this area, we're sitting along District 35 on our upper end. We got Graham and Ann on our outside, runs down the line. So unless we have them two on the line with us, then what kind of a situation do we have? There's no good shutting the fishery down with both of them.
They love to make money too.
Oh, I know it. I know it. But can you get them online with us? That's,
Can I get them?
there's license holders here that hold two different area licenses. Carmen? But this is what the problem is. Everybody thinks you've got somebody sitting on this side of the line fishing, and they say you can't fish.
I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of good ideas come up from you people, from the rest of the industry, and like I say, more than half the owners, and I don't think we can get into percentages, but a lot of the owners is on the lobster deal to come up and tell us how we're going to get that fair price.
Biggest problem.
Or give us some options of where they're at and what they would like to see. Now, just a minute now, before you hold it down. What happened, I'll go back over this again, not this fall, last fall, you started it at 450, right? There was no more lobster caught last fall than was this fall. Up until now, no way. If you keep doing that, there's no way that you're going to be able to have a $3.25 price. You could have a $2.25 price. So you ain't got no other choice. You've got to have a voice. You have to. Now, all these ideas is not going to come from James Wood. I can tell you that right quickly. But I'm going to gather all these ideas, and then we're going to sit down and look at these ideas and find out what is going to benefit you. But you cannot ever let this happen again. You
So
can't.
what if the buyer said we're gonna give you $3.25
325.
Who
James.
talking? Why don't you come up here and talk on this phone? What's wrong with you?
Jody Smith.
Joe Smith. Where you
Jody
from?
Smith. Digby.
Digby, okay.
What are you gonna do when the buyers say you're getting 325?
We haven't got that yet.
No, but, well, you better get to the point, you gotta figure it out.
No, what do you do when you come in, you get, you sold your office for 325?
Yes, yeah. What did I do? I sold it. Well, yeah, I know it's terrible, terrible. What are you gonna do?
You know what I'm gonna do? With your house, I'm gonna negotiate and get a fair price for you.
So what are you gonna do when they say, we're giving you 325?
But it's not
I'm a
him.
buyer.
It's
I'm gonna
we.
say, you're getting, James, you're getting 325.
Listen. Every dealer, they're vicious people, they love to make money. You know what? They want to put this together in a long show.
So how come there's no buyers here? Why can't you get something to the table to prove us?
Before,
Prove something.
I got two guys doing, do lots of dealers.
What's their
doing
names?
it.
What's their names?
Preston Long is one of them, and the other guy is an English guy from Mark.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, what are you actually gonna do? You're gonna go back to the table and talk to us and say, okay, they're saying 325. That's the plan, right? This is the master plan.
The plan is, it won't be a week before the season. You will be well informed way before the season, and guess what? It won't be 325. It will be something you can live with.
How can you guarantee that?
Because I can. It's her house.
Oh, I'm on board, I'm just saying, I'd like to know the plan. If you're gonna start an association, it's like a business. Do you have a business plan? Yes, so let's see the business plan.
And so far, the business is going, the association is going to have the business, because you come to 350. All right, we'll put the $5, so you can get the $5. You think? If we had to start the year, you know, like, we got $5.
Oh, I don't know.
The plan is not ranges, okay? Now, if you only got 200 numbers, some other guys got 45.
So what you're saying, basically what you're saying, what I'm trying to figure out what you're saying is, strength is in numbers, so we're gonna tie up.
No, not saying that at all. No one.
What are you gonna do when they come to you and say, we're giving you,
You wait.
they're gonna make you feel good and say, here's $4. Oh, yeah.
Hang on. Hey.
You're telling me, I'm telling you. But I'm saying, well, what are we gonna tell them?
I don't have all the answers
We're not
today.
going.
We will have all the answers before you folks get ready to roll. Way before.
So you plan to go to Brunswick and talk to the fishermen over there? You plan to go to New Brunswick and spread the word over there for the fishermen?
In New Brunswick? I guess I told you from the start, everything's on the table. Nothing's gonna fall off, everything's on top of the table.
We're talking about tying the boats up. I talk to Graham and Ann almost every day, every day. They couldn't wait for the boats to tie up here. You know why? They fish right side by side. Nova Scotia's here, New Brunswick here. Tie up the boats. We can't wait till we can get our lobsters moving. That's exactly what I was told, and that's what happened. That's why it's important to get New Brunswick on side.
We have
Let them realize what's going on.
had calls from New Brunswick and Grand Banana and Digby.
You haven't had too many, because the people I've been talking to didn't know anything that was going on over here. You've got to spread the word if you want it to get spread. Let the word spread. It's
been 2 weeks.
Gotta go big, we gotta go for it all. Don't go big, we gotta go for it all. We gotta get this 35, 33, and 36 too. That's all gotta come together. If we're going to stand, if you're really going to make a stand, that's the only way you're going to do it. We gotta make a stand with everything. Too big of a district here.
Excuse me. Can I have your attention for just a minute, please? One of the things that got brought up here in this last little segment that we're doing, that's very important, and one of the goals that has been right from the get-go is representation throughout the 2 districts. It is still the goal to get representation up in this area as well as down along the District 33 shore. Now, the qualifications on that is that we don't want no license holders or crewmen or anything like that holding a board position. Your concerns today, and the thing that stood out to me, is that we're in two different areas of how fishing works. Your concerns are different than the concerns that we have. We know that. But we also think it's important that you need somebody in your community, just as the Acadian community needs somebody representing them to sit on the board that we can talk to, that you can talk to when you're not happy with something. And I think that's something that if you're on board with what we're doing, you got to take that into consideration. Who's somebody that we can approach to help represent our interests on that?
It's still gonna come down to the votes and we're open.
It is going to come down to the vote, yes.
The whole problem with the industry that the fishermen don't get together and talk about things until there's a big hoorah and a great big kerfuffle. Instead of meeting 5 or 6 times a year and having reps through everybody that can have a meeting with the local fishermen and find out what their concerns are and take it higher up. That doesn't happen until there's a catastrophe. And then everybody starts screaming and yelling instead of trying to work together the whole year.
This association could find out some true prices on what the buyers are making off of grade A product and bring it back to you and gain some trust from people in the public. You would. It's common sense. Harold said it earlier. It's common sense. Find out some information and true facts. Bring it here. Show it to us. Then you get people to sign up.
Well, the one thing you're forgetting, sir.
There's no guarantees on it.
Yeah, that's right, but whoa. I'm a crewman. I'm not a lawyer. I'm nothing. I'm no better than you. I haul pots aboard. I run them. I fill bait. I do everything you do. And you're sitting here and saying, go bring this, go bring that. Why don't you? You're doing my point is, we're doing the same thing. This is a handful of people who have just finally said enough's enough. We have got to try to do something. This wasn't all put in place. This is 3 weeks today that this thing has come together. Nobody has all the answers. This organization isn't in place. I'm where you are. I got concerns. I got responsibilities. I sure as hell ain't getting them done on a 350 lobster. Everything comes back. Look, again, they're all good. I agree with you. But we can't do it by ourselves. How does that work? On these individual, that's what I call it, you've got all individual islands, and everybody's barking and saying this. They're not listening. Nobody's listening to them.
We're not hearing any ideas. That's why we're throwing it out there.
I know, but this is the whole purpose of getting everybody to come together.
Well, if you start an association, you have to have some type of idea. Let's hear some ideas. All I'm hearing is let's go to that point. Well, we can all get up and hold hands and be happy. Let's have some ideas.
You heard what I said. We will negotiate with the dealers. They are part of this industry.
Yes.
You also know you've got to give something to get something back. Hang on here now. You're saying, well, what about time votes? Listen, we haven't got that far. We're 3 weeks into this, and we've been bogged down with meetings and telephone calls and God knows what else. But I'll tell you what, if you want a fair price, you join the association. You join up and you unite up and you stay that way. If you don't, you're going to go down the tube.
What we're losing is we're not against each other. We're on the same.
I'm not saying that at all.
I know. We're on the same page. And for a little bit here, till we can get organized, we got to kind of set some things aside. I'm not saying forget what you're saying. Not saying that. That gentleman, I could talk to him to the side after. Made perfect sense. Where's the other gentleman that was talking? Over here. Had a chance to talk. Excellent. I agree 100%. But friend, there's 6 of us that are essentially trying to get things motivated. We're looking for people to come alongside to help with us. Your concerns are just as good as anybody else in Cape Audubon or down to the east. They are. Because at the end of the day, that's all you're really cared about is your own concern, mostly. But to get your concern, to get people behind what we're doing, we got to join forces. We stay apart. Correct me if I'm wrong. If we don't come together, do you think there's a possibility we go through what we went through last fall? It can happen. I'm not downgrading your ideas. They're all good. But they don't mean nothing if we're not together. We got to give ourselves the opportunity to come and share these ideas. You're assuming that people down our way not going to care or worry about your situation. You don't know that. You don't know that. You can't assume that here on January 24th. What's going to be said and what isn't going to be said.
We've
voted on this same stuff year after year.
Yeah, your way
Your
won.
way,
We lost.
yeah.
No, you had a bunch of port reps that did a whole bunch of representation. This is about, you know what, the crew's on board. with
Yeah,
this
but
one
that
here.
60% vote that you guys, I've watched your meetings, and the 60% vote you guys were knocking down at your meetings,
That's what helped.
that's what helps us up here.
Yeah, you want 49-51.
You guys
Now
want
we lost.
49-51, if that 60% is the only thing that keeps it unbiased from that 80% of the people being down there and only 20 of us up here, 20% up here, you see what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah.
You
Those
take
things
our
need to be
first
taken
people,
into
we're not.
consideration for the
Yes,
association.
That's true.
So when you jump up, you say, we're going 51-49, that scares the hell out of me. It's just,
You're open to all suggestions. Why, instead of, like you say, you're bogged down, let's make it work. Get the association, get the money, and hire, forget about this volunteer stuff. The bars have logins, everybody got logins but us. We're the biggest group of LFA, and we're the only ones that don't have any representation at all.
Got him
So
all,
instead, forget about the volunteers.
got him all picked out, Cap.
Pardon me?
You got him all picked out.
Tell them.
go.
Bruce Chapman, I'm
Well,
talking to you.
exactly, bring him to the meetings, tell him what to get him to do.
Oh, I think that's gonna be a little costly, to bring him out of Ottawa.
It's all cost,
I know.
I know that,
When it's
sir.
right, we will have a lobbyist,
is what we need.
if that's what you guys want. Remember
We
that.
need.
Nobody's disputing that.
Everything's on top of the table, we're not taking nothing off the table, even New Brunswick, Brahman, we're not taking nothing off the table. But remember, it's up to you guys where we're going. We gotta have this association numbers before we do anything. Plus, we gotta make sure and do it right. Anybody else want to come up here and have a?
Hi, I'm from down Cape Long Lane. I supposed to give you concerns if you've got, you can't buy your boats up, and you can't, because you can't work in the summer. There's 70 boats to my ward. There's 10 works in the summer. There's 100 probably boats the rest here. Probably 15 work in the summer. Milton, there's probably 3 work in the summer. Stony Island, there might be 10 works in the summer. Out of the 200 boats on the island, there's probably only 50 people that's got boats at work. We got the same concerns you got. We can't afford to stay home no more than you can, but we can afford to go for 3 and 4. Because, like I told my son yesterday, 16-year-old, he said, what happens if I want to go fishing? I said, you're not. He said, how can you stop me? I said, I'll sell it first. You'll never go aboard a boat. And I won't let you go aboard a boat, because this place is going bottom up. Unless you get another job in the summer, you're done. Basically. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
The guy that was just up here that said the thing about his son, my husband told his boy the same thing when he said he wanted to go fishing. He said, you go to school, you get a trade, and then I'll take you fishing because there's too much risk in getting involved in the fishery if you don't have something to fall back on. So that's what he did. The only thing I want to say is just from listening here and listening to the comments that are coming, like from that gentleman back there about, and I agree with you, what do you do if the price is $3.50 in June, that's what you're hearing, whatever. But I think the thing that is getting crossed over here is we're sort of looking at how the LFA 34 Management Board has operated with the port reps, and you know, they had meetings and DFO was sitting there because it was actually something that was created in conjunction with DFO. And so decisions and things that were voted on there would then become what would be in the conditions of your licenses. But that's not the thing that we're looking at here. What we're looking at here is showing unity in the fishermen, in the product that you bring in to the Canadian market. 33 and 34 supply 40% of the world's exported market per year. And you guys don't realize the power you have, the amount of revenue that you bring into the country, not just Nova Scotia or the Maritime Provinces. The symbolism that would be shown to the world, and this has nothing to do with the Grand Manan fishermen on the line saying we'll put our traps in the water. This is the symbolism that you could show if the 2 most lucrative fisheries in Canada joined together and said, we are controlling our commodity. We are deciding what with that, it's not going to come down in your conditions that you can't fish. You are going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to sit back and think in your own mind, what is the best thing for me, my family, but what is the best thing for this industry? And then you're going to go from there. Nobody is handing their license to James Mood and saying, now you have control of it, and you know, if I don't like what you're doing, what's going to happen to me? That's not the case. You're coming together to become a force as one. It's never happened before, but if you do it, you will be successful.
Put her on the board.
Yeah, we had made a little bit of history because FA 33 and 34. 34 never invited 33. Never. And another thing we made history about was crew members. And we will continue. You know what? We're going to stay the course. We ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. We're going 220, and that's support. Yes, sir.
I'd like to have these two businessmen or whatever it's two get up to the mic and tell us what they're here for. I mean, they don't look like fishermen. Maybe they are. I don't know. We don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, they're from the income tax people.
Well, they could be.
Guess what?
My name is Dave Newsom from Yarmouth. My whole family lobster fish. I grew up lobster fishing. I moved to Halifax and now a financial advisor. I called James about a week ago, said, I'm in Halifax, how can I help you? I'm all on board with this association. I see the importance of it. I want to help my family, I want to help my community. Everything. It's going to span the whole province. Like this woman just said, not only our little region it's going to affect, but the whole province and the country. Think of the income tax you guys pay. How much does that span over the country?
Told you, President.
So what we're trying to do is raise money in Halifax as much as we can. He's from Cape Breton, he's trying to do the same thing in Cape Breton. We're here to support you guys. We want to get as much money into this association as possible, as much members as possible. Because without you guys working, the little shops aren't working. They're not making any money. If they're not making money, I'm not making any money. Okay? So I need you guys to get on board, get that 550. It's going to make the whole economy stronger than it is now. That's why I'm here.